All right, friends, we have two questions for you. Again, I'm Michelle with Loyalsnap. Glad you're here. We will send all of this awesome content out afterwards. And then I am joined by Zach, founder of OnBrand. So, are you actively engaging in email and text message marketing? And then, how many emails do you send per month? We'll give you a couple more seconds to engage in the poll, and we'll talk about the results.
Let's go. All right. For some reason, AirPods don't want to work today, so you guys got.
Oh, we got live. It's all good. Their sound quality is great, Zach.
All right, guys.
All right, Zach, if you had to guess, where is the spread on are you actively engaging in email and text message marketing? Hell yes or hell no? Where do you think that the distribution is?
I would say 60% yes, 40% no.
I think
63.
you're gonna be pleasantly surprised here. So we're still waiting. We have about 60% of participation, but we're looking at an 80-20 right now. So
We're talking.
we have a good group here.
I love it.
And then we have like the median email send. So the actually, no, I'm wrong. That just changed. The polls are still coming in. 5+ at 47%.
Yeah.
So let's hang on for 15 more seconds if you want to engage in this poll. Otherwise, we're going to say that this is the data that we have and we're going to go from there. So again, are you engaging in email and text message marketing? Hell yes or hell no. And that's why I'm here. And then how many emails do you send per month? And then that's just like, be honest. You're not at the dentist and they're asking you if you floss. Like, be honest with yourself and don't say yes when you don't. All right, we're gonna end it here. So we got 81% of you are heck yeses. And then 50% send 5 or plus more emails. 3 to 4 is a 31%, and then 19% for the 1 to 2. So cool.
Love it. Okay, now we're talking. Okay, now I can see the polls. Now we're talking.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, I love it. I mean, again, you guys saw the initial introduction that sort of went out. What today is really going to be all about. It's really treating your studio like it's an e-commerce business, right? So we say that for just one quick reason. As Michelle and I were kind of going back and forth and workshopping what this could potentially be from, kind of a topic standpoint. You guys all have a POS system, right? A booking platform, whether it's MindBody, Mariana Tech, right? Or, Club Ready, anything else in between. You guys can take online revenue, right? You can take online orders. So there is a massive component to that in your business that I feel can absolutely be leveraged. Love to hear that a good chunk of you guys are already engaging on the email side of things and the SMS, more importantly, at least at a consistent level. That's huge because that is probably going to be your number one most effective tool in maximizing your online revenue for your studio, right? So when it comes for today, really what you're going to expect, and the objectives, I guess you could say, of this webinar is, learn how e-com brands really structure their customer journey, and how you can potentially mirror that at your own studios. We're going to review email and SMS marketing best practices. Again, love that you guys are already engaged at a very high level, but we're going to dig into some of the do's, the don'ts in terms of subject line, copywriting, creative, call to actions, even down to the specific offers that we want to look to potentially deploy, some that work for us at OnBrand and our clients and others that don't necessarily. And then finally, we're going to do a quick little run through of building a fully vetted 5-day promotional campaign across both email and SMS within Loyalsnap itself, right? We've got Memorial Day coming up here. We're kind of hitting that slow season in our industry where folks are taking off, right? They're pausing their memberships. They don't necessarily want to pay that recurring revenue. They're going to be in and out, bouncing back and forth and whatnot. So how is it that we can really just have a kick-ass close to the month of May as we go into sort of the summer seasonality and the lulls of our industry, right?
Love
So
it.
that,
And just a couple of rules of the road. If you have questions, raise your hand. You can also put them in the Q&A and I can queue them up to Zach. or you want to chat with each other. You can actually even start typing what studio you're from and what region. It's like, the radio, like who you are, where you're calling in from. But again, this is meant to be interactive. So it is, I can take you off mute and put you on, on screen. So if you have any questions for me or Zach, this is what this is all about.
Heck yeah. Appreciate that, Shal. Excited to dive in. All right, guys. So we're going to go through just a quick overview about sort of myself and our company OnBrand. So I'm the founder of OnBrand Marketing. We've been around for a little over 2 years now. Before that, I've been in the industry, let's call it 6, 7 years. I was on the vendor side originally, working for a company called Bell Fitness. Some of you guys, I don't know if anybody here is from the F45 world or trained at F45. They're the little triangular weights that are kind of like a dumbbell kettlebell hybrid. Brought them over from Australia, pretty much launched, scaled the brand, and they ended up getting acquired by TRX about a year and a half ago or so, right? So kind of a cool story there, kind of seeing that from inception all the way to acquisition. And then it was 3, 4 years ago, got recruited by Expo. I know there's some interesting thoughts and takes on that, but ran marketing for a couple of their brands and just really had a great kick-ass time kind of doing it. Yoga 6, AKT primarily is really where we dug into, so we were able to understand sort of the Expo playbook in terms of how they were able to scale up to, close to the 3,000 locations that they were at. Obviously, we saw some optimizations within that overall, let's call it strategy, if you will. And so what we've done at OnBrand is kind of plug the holes, I guess you could say. That is very modality and very studio specific from a digital perspective, right? So we do everything from pretty much lead generation, intro offer testing, landing page development, digging into your CRM systems, your POS systems, excuse me. Obviously, all of you guys are on Loyalsnap, so we work very closely with Michelle and her group of incredible team members to just make sure that your automations, your email, your SMS marketing is fully vetted out. And then we track those leads, anything that we generate all the way through to conversion, and essentially just really sort of simplify the overall user journey and maximize the conversion for you guys. So that's sort of a little bit about what we do. I think Michelle and I, we've been working together for almost a year and a half now, maybe 2 years or so, on a handful of different accounts that leverage Loyalsnap. And it's been a fun ride so far. So that being said, we'll get into the good stuff in terms of why you guys were here. We already asked you guys these questions, which is great. Ton of you guys already engaging, and the majority of you even sending 5+ emails a month, which is great. So again, you guys are definitely ahead of the curve. Now, ideally for those folks, we want to be able just to like have you guys have a few different takeaways, a few different snippets that are going to be very beneficial for you guys to really just kind of increase open rate, increase click rate, and at the end of the day, increase conversion for you guys. All right. So again, studios that act like e-commerce brands wins, right? I mean, everyone here and their mother, we've all subscribed to different brands that, we know, whether it's Zara, it's Nike, it's Lululemon, etc., right? And how many emails do we get on, let's call it a weekly basis, from those companies in particular? Not only the ones that we know, but ones that we don't have any idea or recollection of signing up for, right? Like,
I
Shell,
joke
like,
around that I need like an inbox to handle all of my sales.
legitimately, right? I mean, I was thinking about hiring a VA to potentially just man like the personal email inboxes at this point, right? You wake up, you got to clear it by like 45 different emails, right? So what I say about that is a lot of those are e-commerce focused, and it's just touch point, touch point, touch point, right? You have to consistently get your message across, because the odds of your customers seeing it, if you're only sending 1 or 2 emails a month, very, very unlikely, right? So email and SMS are going to be your most profitable and likely underutilized channels. You don't necessarily have to rely on in-person traffic and referrals and just new leads in particular to grow your studio. Every email and phone number that's in your contact list is potential revenue to be had. They've engaged with you at some point, so those are your warmest leads, as we all know. How do we get them back, into the studio? How do we essentially maximize revenue for them? And then again, to a degree, right, through automation and Loyalsnap's kick-ass platform, you guys are able to build automations that essentially lead to recurring revenue, right? They may not be EFTs or recurring members, but pack members, private members, depending on what your service offering is. You can send out reminders, you can send up follow-ups, et cetera, to ensure that they're re up on their 10-pack or their 20-pack or their 5-pack, right? So they may not be locked into a contract, but they're consistently coming back to your studio, right? So again, just a couple of quick stats to really kind of drive this point home. Again, know that you guys are all really engaging with this already, but email average return on investment, or ROI, is close to 42x, right? So Loyalsnap, obviously for you guys, depending whether you're one location or multiple locations, the amount of value you get just from sending emails to your existing contact database is on average 42 times return on investment. Okay. From an SMS standpoint, 98% open rate. All right. So damn near 100% of the time, if you send a text message, whoever it is that you're sending to is going to see the message that you're promoting. All right. So that efficacy is just massive in terms of overall reach and engaging with the audience. Your owned audience is always going to lead to sustainable growth. And then again, automations and really leveraging the Loyalsnap dashboard and just automation tools will be minimal effort, and it's an opportunity to maximize your revenue. Where we're talking about new leads, missed sales, lapsed clients, existing pack members, etc. Right? A handful of different pieces we can look to implement. So we're going to move forward now. Again, just a quick little intro in terms of kind of where we're at and just sort of the overall benefits of email. So now we want to get into a little bit of kind of like the tactical pieces, right? In the sense of, takeaways, what you guys can do, best practices, if you will. All right. So the first thing that we want to do in order to have an engaging email is stop the user from scrolling in their inbox, right? You open your Gmail, you open your Yahoo, your whatever it is. I know Yahoo might have dated myself. I'm
Yeah.
31. I still have an
No
AOL account.
AOL users on here, right? Yeah,
I
reason
have an
not.
AOL account still. It's like my burner account, so it's like, everything goes to that. So, it is what it is. But regardless, you open up and you just see a ton of emails in your inbox on any given basis, right? So what is it that's going to separate your brand apart from just the credibility that you have with your customer? It's the subject line, right? It's the first thing that is shown whenever you go into an inbox. And so a couple of tips that I want you guys just to sort of write down, obviously you guys will have access to the deck after this, is when it comes to the subject line, try and keep it under 45 characters, right? So when it comes to your iPhone in particular, 85% of emails are opened up on mobile. So you always want to take a look at that. 45 characters is essentially the cutoff for most subject lines before you start to see those dots, right? So ideally keep it under there. And that includes emojis, spaces, letters, etc. All right. Use urgency, curiosity, or some type of benefit, right? If you're teeing up some type of promotion, or there's a new studio launch, or you guys have a new class or a new instructor, whatever it may be, use those as the hook to get people to open your email. Emojis can be very helpful, but for love of God, please do not overdo it. I think 1 to 2 max. Again, I know you guys probably have a few brands that are sat in your email inbox where it's just emoji overload. They can be a lot of fun, but again, 1 to 2, you want to keep it professional. But there is an opportunity definitely to kind of turn some heads and use a strategic emoji for sure. And then lastly, again, what we do in the digital marketing world is just A/B test or split test, as you want to call it. Different subject lines for any major campaign that you're going to be running, right? I'd imagine Memorial Day's coming up, so I would imagine a good chunk of you guys have something going on for Memorial Day, whether it's a pack promotion, a summer membership, right? A welcome back from school type of deal, whatever it may be. But I think having 2 different options of subject lines to send out to segmented people could be very beneficial for you guys in testing. Hey, what works? What does the audience engage with? Things like that. All right. Next up, when it comes to the actual template itself, this is where, again, we want to write and conduct or construct emails that are designed to click, not necessarily just scroll through, right? We've built the subject line. Awesome. Step number 1 completed. We got them out of the inbox into our email. Now, what is it that we have to do, right? Again, we want them to take that next action and click through to whatever landing page, whatever website, whatever pricing option that we potentially have in order to get those people there, right? So in order to do that, always lead with an engaging hero graphic, right? So if you have any type of creative designer, or everyone has access to Canva, it's $10 a month for the pro version. There's a lot of templates that are in there that you guys are able to really just leverage kind of from the ground up, to just highlight whatever it is that you're offering in that email. If it's just a simple newsletter, cool, call that out. If it's a specific promotion similar to Memorial Day, 100% you want to lead with that, right? And then more importantly with that, always include a call to action, right? So use bold buttons, highlight them, circle them, etc. Whether it's book now, grab your pack, sign up, shop now, etc. You always want to have an opportunity for the user to take action and to drive to that landing page the second that they land on your email, right? And they open your email. When it comes to the actual copy itself, short paragraphs, punchy type of tone, right? Again, depending on your brand, whatever it is that you guys kind of put on social, we typically tend to shy away from putting paragraphs upon paragraphs on social media. Usually 1 to 2 sentences, right, per paragraph, if you will. 2 to 3 paragraph max is kind of what we usually look to strive for, especially if it's some type of prospecting or promotional campaign. Because at the end of the day, if you're opening it up on your phone, the last thing you want to see is open it and it's just words, right? That's how you kind of lose a user. So make sure you keep it tight and not verbose, as my former VP liked to call my marketing writing early on in my career. And then lastly, as you end up with the template, always end with a CTA button as well. So you lead with it on the hero graphic. You have your text just describing what the offer is or whatever it is that you're pushing. Always have a CTA button at the bottom of the email as well. So again, it's just an easy opportunity for them to go exactly where you're directing them to go.
Zach, you're probably going to get into this, but what's your and your team's practice? Do you do like sloppy copy, throw it through ChatGPT to eliminate the verbose writing? Like, what's your daily practice? I know we're going to walk through kind of a day in the life, but if you have any insight here.
Totally. No, great question. I mean, we have a team of, I mean, again, my team is kick ass when it comes to actual copywriting and content writing. But what we do is we sort of have like, let's call it systems put within our own like open API and ChatGPT in particular, specific to each of our clientele. So we upload their brand book, we upload their website, their social channel, etc. So ChatGPT essentially gets to learn the overall verbiage, the tone, the whether they're satirical, whether they're dry, whether it's soft, whether it's funny, gritty, etc. So we have an individual profile for each of our clients as a result of that. So our team will initially just kind of upload whatever it is that we're going to be promoting over the course of a month into ChatGPT, and then it kind of spews it out, in a matter of seconds, as I'm sure we've all kind of experienced. And then from there, it's just it's a double glance, right? Because as awesome as ChatGPT and AI tools have become, there's still you still need to add a sense of a human element to it, right? And so that's where our team essentially just double checks, and then from there go straight to Loyalsnap to essentially just copy and paste for the most part. Good question though, for sure. All right. So now that we're on the email side, let's dig into the SMS side. All right. So texting like a human, kind of first and foremost. All right. When it comes to just building a text message, less is more. Less is more. I think Nathan actually from Loyalsnap put up a LinkedIn post. Was it last week or the week before that? Just talking about best practices, if you will. And I think I said less is more 100%. And so I think that's definitely something you guys want to take to advantage here. If you can do it in 2 to 3 sentences, 100% do that. Loyalsnap obviously identifies how many segments or messages you're going to be sending as a result of that. So if you can stick in that 1 to 2 range, that's absolute best case scenario. So using the personalization tags through Loyalsnap as well to pull in first name, last name, certain package names, etc., I think is critical as well. Again, you really want to, sort of utilize the fact that, hey, there is personalization. This is a message that's essentially customized to you, despite the fact that it's obviously being sent out to hundreds, if not thousands of people, right? Depending on whatever it is that you're pushing. Sending reminders, flash sales, class nudges, etc. Those are all pieces that can really be beneficial, not only from a retention standpoint, but obviously from a reminder and a revenue generating standpoint as well. Depending on what it is that you're pushing, always want to include a direct booking link. Very similar to the email side of things. Always want to end with a CTA button and have an actionable item for the user to take to make it as simple as possible, right? So if you're promoting a new class or a new instructor, don't just say, hey, the schedule is live, link directly to the schedule so that user can go right to it. Again, whether it's MindBody, Club Ready, etc., they can go straight to it and they're able to book at ease without having to exit out, go to their app, go to your website, etc.
Quick little thing about the link, if I may. So we have a link shortener in our system. If you Loyalsnap users are not aware. We can demonstrate it when Zach's live in the system. But those long purchase links are no bueno. So we want to shorten that up because that is definitely better deliverability to the end user, and it just looks better. That link shortener is available for one-to-one messaging or within your dashboard. And then the link shortener automatically applies when you send out an SMS blast.
Nice. Perfect. All right. Stay conversational and concise. And then again, at the end of it, this is all just sort of dependent on how risk averse you are. If you want to just kind of abide by the GDPR sort of regulation and texting rules, you can include stop to opt out for compliance. We have clients who prefer this, some who don't. Just want to put that in there as a best practice. Loyalsnap is awesome in the sense of if a user receives anything like a stop or a no or anything like that, it'll automatically opt them out from the system. Michelle just double confirmed with me on that, and I'm pretty sure that's positive. So, you can get away with not actually implementing that.
Yeah, the stop to opt out will automatically happen on the blasts. They're not necessarily needed on those like one-to-one messaging, but if anyone replies stop, unsubscribe, it automatically takes them.
Perfect. All right. So now that we've gone through kind of best practices in terms of the actual construction of these specific emails and SMSs, let's talk about frequency, when, and how often to send, right? Again, good chunk of you guys sending 5 or more plus a month, which is awesome. Again, that's a great, great practice to be into. I think when we're talking about this in particular and driving revenue, we're talking about these 4 to 5 day sprints or these promotions that we're going to be running. Case in point, Memorial Day that's coming up here, right? So I promise you, you are not spamming your clients. Okay. You got to think at any one point in time, you're going to be sending out an email to 1,000 to a 10,000 person contact list, right? So if you get 1 to 2 people who come at you and say, hey, why are you sending me so many emails? I mean, that's a very, very, very small percentage and a very large, let's call it applicant pool in the sense of, who you're able to essentially market to. We want to make sure we have the chance that everybody's seeing our message, right, in a very crowded space. So when it comes to, let's just say a standard 1 week promo, 5 to 7 days or so across email, what we implement at the on-brand side, 2 to 3 emails over the course of that 1 week span, right? SMS, same thing, 2 to 3 weeks, but it's usually staggered. First day, we'll send probably the same, both an email and an SMS, staggered by a couple of hours. And then the last day will be, hey, we'll send an email in the morning and then we'll send an SMS that night saying, hey, final hours type of deal. And then we'll stagger the second and the third text messages, emails throughout the week. Best times, again, are usually Monday to Thursday before 9 a.m. Ideally, again, people are up before they're starting their day, before they're going to work, etc. We're up, we're all scrolling, we're doing all that. And then between 4 to 6 p.m., right? Again, this is all based on, your own personal preference and really where your audience is at. But again, Loyalsnap has a fantastic reporting dashboard to where you're really able to gauge, hey, when are people engaging with us and when are they not? And you obviously want to gear towards those days. This is more so just best practices, weekdays, early mornings, mid afternoons. And then from a targeting standpoint, again, this is something that you're going to want to play around with for sure. But using Loyalsnap segmentation, I think, is absolutely crucial. People who have recently visited, interacted with certain marketing messages, new leads, former pack purchasers, auto pay contracts, specific locations, win back campaigns in terms of canceled or suspended members. You guys kind of name it, right? We don't necessarily have to always blast it to everybody, although it is a good shotgun approach to kick off the campaign, but then you want to get a little bit more targeted as you continue to go through. All right. So again, kind of just to reiterate what I talked about in terms of how we would essentially structure a campaign for let's call it the upcoming Memorial Day sale. Natural Pilates, they're a client of ours that's in LA and New York. They've got 6 locations, 7th one opening here in the next month and a half, 2 months or so. They've been on Loyalsnap for about a year and a half or so. So we'll kick off a sale with them or the promotion with them on this Friday. For us, I don't really like running a weekend promotion, especially over a holiday. I want to kick it before the holiday starts, and I want 1 to 2 days after the fact. So once people are back into their normal routine, they're checking their phone, it's just an opportunity to increase visibility and increase revenue as a result. So for us, it's going to be a Friday to a Wednesday promotion. And for us, we'll send day 1 email, day 3, day 5, And then from a text message standpoint, we'll do day 1 morning, and then we'll do day 5 afternoon, 3 to 4 hours before the sale is actually over, right? So usually it's around 5, 6 p.m. or so. We'll say, hey, sale ends at 10 p.m. tonight, or usually it's just midnight. But you want to be cognizant of how late it is that you're sending a text message. So that's kind of a quick little synopsis in terms of what we do there. And now we are going to build a campaign together. So, Shell, I should just be able to exit out of this and dive into Loyalsnap, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's freaking go. Perfect. All right. So, obviously, everyone here familiar with the Loyalsnap dashboard. We're just going to give you just a quick little run through in terms of how we build templates, how we duplicate them, expedite essentially the overall build process. So that way we can execute a campaign from start to finish. So for us, we're here in the Natural Pilates dashboard real quick. We're going to create an email blast, which I actually already did, just labeling it as Loyalsnap test. And for here, we're going to dig into the specific recipients. So again, for us, since we're kicking off, this is going to be our first email for Memorial Day. We want to take a little bit of a larger approach. Hey, anybody who has essentially entered their information in our system, they've shown some type of engagement, let's kick things off. But because this is going to be a pack promotion specifically, we don't want our active auto pays to essentially see that, right? We have a separate piece that we are, our campaign that we're running for them. So we're going to exclude them. Click save, and we're good to go. It's going to send out to about 4,800 people. You've got the from here, and then for the subject line, again, let's just use something punchy in the sense of Memorial Day is here, say 15% on 10 and 20 packs, right? If we want to throw an emoji in there, we can go American flag. How about that?
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
That
Very interesting.
it's US.
USA?
Oh,
No,
wow.
oh, yes, okay. Everyone learned something new today. Killer.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to click save here. And then in terms of the content, again, you guys are all familiar with building templates. This is just our Memorial Day Loyalsnap template. We'll click save, and then we're going to dig into it. All right, so here's just a quick update, or I guess you could say just kind of low down in terms of what our standard template sort of looks like for the emails themselves. They don't have to be overly robust. They don't have to be overly, graphic design, whatever it is. We usually lead with the hero image with the offer on the graphic itself, which you guys will see. The title, or kind of like your header one, this is just your catchy sentence. It can kind of be a rendition of what we promoted in the subject line itself. Personalization, a quick statement, reiterate the offer, maybe a UVP or a unique value proposition, what separates you guys from somebody else, a quick call to action, and then your CTA button leading to the specific deal. And then when it comes to the footer, this is really just sort of standard in most of our clients' email templates. Just a couple of reviews. Again, for those people who maybe not have been to Natural Pilates before or haven't been back in a while, we just like to say, hey, we're kind of the best in town. Here's what our members are saying, type of deal. Got the logo to end it, and then just the contact info. All right. So when it comes to uploading image, we're just going to drop our first one in here. And here we go, right? So again, doesn't have to be overly complicated whatsoever. Memorial Day sale, a little bit of an American flag here, 15% off 10 and 20 packs with code Memorial15. But most importantly, we've got that CTA button here. All right. Let's go. In terms of catchiness, is kind of putting me on the spot here. Let's go spring into summer savings. How about that? Boom. Nice. Hi, client first name. Summer is here, and we are all ready for a limited time. Say 15% on all 10 and 20 class packs. With code Memorial15 at checkout. And so we'll go here. Typically don't bold these. UVPs. Get ready for, you can do something similar to just some emojis. Let's see, what do we usually go? We like the muscle emoji here. Get ready for athletic style Pilates. premier LA instructors. And a kick-ass, they get a little punchy with their tone. So a kick-ass community that pushes you each day. All right. End it with a call to action. Click the link below, and we'll see you on the reformers. We're going to update this, book a class.
And then Zach, about the URL that you're directing them to. So,
Yep.
I mean, best practices is like the closest you can get them to checkout, right? Not like a huge page where they have to click on another thing to go to the other thing. Like you want
Correct.
to lead that horse to water and make them drink. So whatever link you're putting in there so that buy now can be that specific buy page for that offer. If you have that, or if you have a landing page that you send people to, also, if you use merge fields and you have those offers hard coded in that studio merge field section, you could use that too. So, but just like the moral of the story is make sure that it's the most direct purchase page possible.
Spot on. Yeah, and great addition for sure. So again, I would imagine a good chunk of you guys are probably on MindBody as a result. So that's really for us, 9 times out of 10. We just go straight to the pricing option. We open that up and we just take the online link directly from MindBody. We paste it directly here as part of the hero image. Make sure that it opens up into a new tab. So this is just your MindBody link, right? Dot, dot, dot. And then the same thing down here in the buy now section, right? So this already has whatever it's leading to. Just make sure those are copy and pasted. So again, these are people who are already familiar with your brand. You've teed up the offer itself, right? You shared a little bit more information about it, what it is that they're going to be getting. And then again, you want them to get to where you're leading them, right? At the end of the day. Cool. And then from there, we just click save template.
Don't forget that. That's a brutal mistake. If you click
100%.
out of that square, it's not going to happen. So,
100%.
the auto save is a feature request for sure.
Absolutely. So we've got that. Sometimes takes a bit to load for all the recipients. Again, depending on how targeted you're getting, could take a little bit longer. Click that send later for this. This is going to go out on Friday for us. This is just a test email. It doesn't have the necessary correct links at this point, but for us, we want to get usually first thing in the morning. So I'd probably even go a little bit earlier than 9 a.m. since this is a kickoff and on New York time. We'd probably go 8 a.m. They're early risers over there. And yeah, click that, click send. It'll be scheduled, and you guys are good to go from there. All right, so a quick little just snippet again, or a little takeaway for you guys. So instead of having to rebuild those templates for the next email and the next follow-up, what we do is we just go into templates right here on the left sidebar, click here, click duplicate. And so we're essentially able to mirror that format across the board. Update this to Loyalsnap 2. Right, click save template. And then again, same thing for us. We typically just duplicate overall campaigns as well, and then just adjust the targeting. So everything's pretty much there. For this, again, so we're going to be sending one out 3 days essentially later. These are folks, maybe we just want to go to intro clients and leads in particular, or people who have come into our system, call it over the last 30 days or so, get a little bit more hyper targeted with it. That's what we do there. Update the subject line to don't forget.
Jeff, you just asked a question about you have to put the names in individually. Tell me what I will actually ask you to speak and get you, let's go. So you do not have to put in people's names specifically if you're talking about like client's first name. That's actually a merge field that will pull in that client's first name. But if that's not answering your question, let me know.
Perfect. All
Cool.
right. Good to go.
Yeah, we're good.
Nice. All right. So yeah, when it comes to the follow-up email, again, we just duplicate the campaign. We come down here and we select the correct template that, again, we duplicated. So that way you're not adjusting the original email that's going to be going out. It's just want to make that clear. We made that mistake a couple of times as well, to where we're like, how the heck did that email get sent over that? So again, just a little bit of an learning curve for everybody. We come in here and then same thing, upload the image to whatever it is that you're also going to be pushing there a couple of days later. Let's see. I'll just drop this in here. There we go. And then essentially just go through the same process, right? In terms of, slightly slightly different version of the overall title text. Can reiterate certain UVPs and whatnot. Because again, they're not going to change drastically from what you guys are offering, right? Just get a little full with the overall copy. Click save template, and then go through the same process. You guys are good to go on that. And so when it comes to the SMS blasts in particular, we'll get the emails typically scheduled. Those are kind of the big dogs in terms of what we typically lead campaigns with. For the text message side of things, again, want to take that first initial shotgun approach, make sure everyone has an opportunity to see the offer that we're pushing. So we're going to send it out to all clients, excluding those active auto pay contracts similar to the emails. And then from here, we'll just get nice and punchy with the tone, right? For us, we like to lead with, hey, this is Natural Pilates or this is Revival. You just identify yourself. Not all the time does everybody save your contact information directly within their contact book. So just identifying who you are is sort of first and foremost for us. Let's go client first name, Natural Pilates here. Don't forget about our Memorial Day promotion, 50% off 10 and 20 packs with code Memorial15. Shop now. All right, so we've got that. And then, Shelley, you want to walk us through
Yeah,
the
I do. Thanks for the Passover. So a couple of notes here. So that link will appear like this, but to the client it will be shortened. So we actually have an internal Loyalsnap link shortener that's approved and vetted by phone carriers, so it's most likely to deliver. So you don't even have to worry about anything on that side to, adopt the link shortener. It will happen automatically. I also
awesome.
want to call out this estimated number of segments. So this is essentially saying that this message is two segments and it's two times then the 4,000 recipients. So just if you literally click on the dollar sign, it's going to give you the cost of this SMS, just so you know how much that will cost. I'm gonna bet that, Zach's gonna say that this is worth every bit of that marketing investment based on the ROI data that he provided ahead of that. But just so you're not shocked, like that is to a large group, it does do segments time recipient list.
And then question for you, Shell. So
Yeah.
if they were to go in and use a bit.ly or a tiny URL and just shorten the overall characters of the link beforehand, would it
Yeah.
potentially shrink it to one segment, or is it
Yeah.
automatically calculated as part of the automatic link shortener that you guys have for the blasts?
Great question. So do not use a tiny URL or bit.ly. Those are actually now the carriers are pretty smart and they do not like delivering those messages for fear of something inappropriate being kind of covered up with a bit.ly or a link tree. So definitely lean on our link shortener. We will kind of true up once that message goes out in terms of the number of segments that it is. But just so you know, emojis, like if you add that flag here, it's going to definitely push you over to that too. So just be mindful of 160 characters equals one segment.
Nice. All right,
Zach,
perfect.
also, just for what it's worth, I pulled the audience and everyone's favorite emoji. It was a close tie between the muscle and the fire.
Okay, yeah.
The yogi is sometimes used. The exclamation points are never used, according to this group. So,
Okay. Good to know. I mean, hey, you guys are 100% on brand and positive, or pun intended there for sure. Because absolutely, and we do the hands up emoji pretty frequently as well. Especially when I'm writing copy, like my team can always tell, like, oh, yeah, Zach definitely wrote that text message. Because there's the hands up emoji. So I love it. All right. So with that, guys, we'll click the send later. Again, scheduled to the specific recipients. Completely up to you. Again, Shell, if you want to weigh in on this, if you guys want to do the additional opt-in for any folks who may or may not have, it gives you an opportunity to reach a few more people, but technically these folks just haven't opted into SMS marketing. So you essentially get a one-time chance to market to all of these folks,
Yeah,
right?
of course, Murphy's Law. It's now my dog is deciding to bark, so I'm gonna may or may not go off mute. But I will actually be right back on this one because I gotta go speak to our lawyer. No, just kidding. I do have a lot to add here, but give me a second to give Miss Old Patty a little.
No worries whatsoever. Yeah, I mean, so again, for what it's worth, guys, I know we're coming up on time. I believe this is only set for 45 minutes. Or was it set for an hour? Oh, we're good. No, we got plenty of time. This is pretty much like the last thing we're going to be doing. But for what it's worth at OnBrand, we obviously position this to our clients ahead of time, saying, "Hey, we've got an opportunity to reach X amount of people. Do we want to opt in?" So that way, they're just in the know of it. And 9 times out of 10, they say yes. So
So here's the deal on this. So Loyalsnap sees any opt-outs, but if we do not see an explicit opt-in, we give you the chance to opt them in here. And then you do have to verify that you have the ability to message that client. There's two types of messaging within Loyalsnap. There is marketing messaging, which is this SMS blast right here. And then there is also then the messaging that happens the one-to-one in your inbox, the transactional automations, the dashboard. That is a different type of messaging. So these really need to adhere to strong compliance regulations. So that's why we asked for that additional opt-in consent. And you can go mark them individually and then say that you have the consent and you're able to reach out to that client base.
nice. Appreciate the
Jack, did you
further.
have any questions there? I heard you take yourself off mute, so I just want to make sure that it's clear. You good? Okay, awesome.
Beauty. All right, guys. So once we get those again scheduled up, let's just say we schedule it for again this Friday. We'd send it out probably midday or so. Okay, so it's exceeding the quota of 5,000 messages per day. So that happens from time to time. You just have to get a little bit more strategic on the overall targeting. So for us,
Sorry, I should have not recognized that. That was a little Easter egg for me. Yeah, so you are allowed per day to send 5,000 text segments, and that's in total for each studio portal. So, Natural Pilates has multiple locations, so each location can send up to 5,000. That also, though, does include your transactional messaging. So you may need to make this list a teeny bit smaller and then send to the second wave the next day. That is also, it's not a Loyalsnap rule. It's a texting carrier rule that is the max capacity.
DPR. Yep. Nope. Good call out. It's still 4,003. Oh, there we go. Now we're talking. All right, so we got a little bit more hyper targeted with this. Let's call it clients on expired contracts, not auto pay packages or existing packages, making sure that they have advantage of it. Anybody on any type of intro offer that we have, new clients, since it's only 614, we can definitely add, let's call it leads registered and bring that in. And we can kind of just play around with what we've got from here. Again, being in that 2,500, 3,000 range or so. So this should be good to go.
It's like you planned that. That was the perfect.
Nice go. All right, pulls it in. Once that clicks up send later, I know there's a little bit of time for it to load up. We would essentially schedule that to the necessary piece. And then again, to essentially just expedite time, we duplicate it because the link's already in there. You have some additional verbiage. We just sort of cut and splice it, I guess you could say, a couple of different ways and different versions. There's no need to reinvent the wheel when it comes to these types of messaging campaigns. We just want to get the offer across, identify who we are, and get people to take action as quickly as possible.
Definitely an example of working smarter, not harder, and just duplicating what you got and going from there. Love it.
Spot on. All right.
I do want to mention, gang, that the things that Zach built out, we can share those into your portals, and we're going to send out a recap afterwards. And if you want that stuff hand delivered, we will push them into your Loyalsnap instances. So just reply, and we can get that content over to you.
Heck yeah. No, great addition for sure. Yeah, the templates, again, they're not reinventing the wheel. really kind of comes down to just that hero graphic that you guys want to design, and just pushing it consistently over the course of the month, right? And the course of the campaign in particular. So just a quick little recap as we come to sort of the close of this. I've been talking at you guys for 45 minutes, so I appreciate the patience and just the attention. Although I can't see you, so I'm just assuming you're paying attention, so that's fun. But again, just a quick little recap: captive audience and a consistent messaging really just increases revenue, and it leads to additional revenue. Timing of when you're sending and the offer are absolute paramount. Multi-channel increases visibility. Don't just rely on email. Don't just rely on text messaging. There are people who prefer different forms of communication. Me personally, I'm not the biggest SMS fan. I think a lot of it's spammy. Obviously, we just went through an election year. How many freaking messages did we get across election? You're like, no, I'm good. Like, I'm kind of turned off from it. But not everyone's that way, right? The younger demographic and the younger generation, are a little bit more privy to that type of marketing. Branded templates and strong CTAs certainly drive engagement, right? Getting an email out is definitely better than nothing, but adding some pizzazz to it, ensuring that it kind of aligns with what you guys are doing on the website front, on your social media, the way the aesthetic of your studio is essentially set up, all of those pieces kind of coming into one, I think definitely play a factor in just building that sense of continuity. And then again, simplifying the journey, right? Don't lead them to 3 different places when you can lead them straight to one, and they can go straight to your cash register and check out, right? So that's kind of the biggest piece. And then again, just a quick little statistic for us. I mean, I would say 95% of our clients on any monthly basis, the campaigns that we're running for them is generating anywhere between 2 to 10K per month additional, right? That's really a result of obviously the contact list and how long the studio has been around. But that's really kind of what we see on average for Natural Pilates in particular. We've got this 5-day campaign coming up. They've been around for a good chunk of time, but we're expecting anywhere between the 100 and 120K range across those 6 studios. So we're really excited to kind of hit the ground running, and we ping it pretty hard heading into the summer, knowing that the seasonality is coming. All right. And then apart from that, guys, again, kind of want to just stop. I know it was a little bit of interaction in terms of as we went through, but wanted to stop, have an opportunity for questions, comments, concerns, anything along that.
Jeff, if you have a question, definitely let us know. You can also, anyone can type into the Q&A. I can take you off mute and you can engage with us in multiple ways. I saw in the chat that, Jeff raised his hand for sure for getting those templates. Again, we're going to send out that email, and you just need to reply to that email that we send out with your studio name, and we will hand deliver it to your portal. Zach, if people want to work with you, how may they go about doing so?
Great question. All right. So if you guys need a hand, again, email, SMS. I mean, we absolutely crush that. The team does a fantastic job. We have a handful of different tactics that we look to implement. But we're essentially kind of full funnel. And the studios that we work with, I think it's 43, 44 different locations now, where they get the most value when they kind of go full funnel, right? We handle everything from Google Ads, Meta Ads, lead generation, digging into your CRMs, building out and refining your automation strategies, digging into the email and the SMS side, et cetera. But you guys scan that QR code right there. Contact information is on the next slide. Again, that'll lead straight to our website, onbrandmarketing.com. Contact us, give us a shout, and we'd love to have a conversation and kind of see where you guys are at. But this is really our bread and butter is the boutique space. It's where we dig in. And again, we love working with partners such as Loyalsnap because it makes the entire process just that much more effective. For the end users, aka you guys, right? It's just a seamless process and a great partnership. So appreciate y'all taking the time.
Thanks, Zach. Great stuff here. Appreciate everyone. We will send that recap shortly, and we're here if you have any questions. Thanks,
Heck
all.
yeah. All right. Thanks, everybody. Talk to y'all soon.
Bye.
Thanks, Jeff. Love